Trey Harden, ABC News, political analyst, joins us every Tuesday. Good morning, Trey.
Good morning, McGraw. I don't know who advises these candidates and tells them that it's a good idea to bring up stuff in their own speeches about something that is bad in the news.
Yeah, there's lots of things that that used to be rules of the road that are no longer rules of the road, including the Washington Post this morning has a story where Donald Trump isn't paying his pollster, owes his pollster $750,000 and won't pay him.
Oh yeah, I can confirm some significant anecdotes about that are true about that front, about people who have shuffled in and out of that campaign over the last year, for sure.
So put into perspective this James Comey story, which can only be explained as a bombshell on Friday. Republicans, Karl Rove, as well as others, coming out and critical of the FBI, saying the FBI is treating Hillary unfairly. What's going on here?
Well, let's just talk about it first politically, because again, what the FBI is allowed to do or does, it's hard for any of us to really say or know because they obviously have a lot of power and discretion. But one thing we know about this presidential race, McGraw, is that, and this is not a good thing, but anytime either candidate is in the news, it's a bad thing for them. And so the only reason this will have any impact or maybe move the needle a little bit is that it's the fact that Donald Trump is not in the news right now and Hillary Clinton is. So maybe it makes some voters view this more of forget about Trump for a little bit and view it more as a referendum on Hillary Clinton. Again, is it enough to move the needle in this race towards Trump? We just don't know that yet. When you see these national tracking polls, sure, it shows it's just a very volatile roller coaster ride and Trump doing better. But what we know, and we've talked about many times over the last few weeks, is this really is an electoral college race, a state-by-state path to the presidency, and we just don't know or see if things like this are cutting into Hillary's lead on those states, because as we've talked about, Trump has to have a royal flush next Tuesday night, essentially, on the states that are remaining for him to win.
In the movie The Perfect Storm, there's a scene at the end where George Clooney sees the sun and then sees a big giant wave and says, it is not going to let us out. And so I get a sense we can see the sun, right? We can see the end of this, but I get a sense, Trey Harden, that there's another bombshell between now and Election Day.
Well, yeah, but I'm not even sure how much this is a bombshell. Because again, we're not going to learn probably too much, anything more than we already know about what's in these emails. I think if the emails were going to impact this race, they would have already done that. I think people, again, because we are talking about such two despised candidates, such a race to the bottom and the lesser of two evils, and I think American voters' emotions are based on relativity right now. Relativity meaning, okay, well, how much am I willing to take on a negative level that is going to give me the stomach to vote for this person? And I just think on that front, the emails would have already changed people's mind. People have an opinion about both candidates. It's not a good one, and I think that the more these emails are discussed, unless it's something in there that comes out that shows blatant corruption by Hillary Clinton, I just don't see it really influencing things too much. But, it's, again, the more they're in the news, the worse it is for either one of them. So, sure, we could see something between now and next Tuesday. Would not surprise us at all. As you know, McGraw, 7 days is a lifetime in politics, particularly on the presidential campaign front. But, boy, we're getting close, and I think many of us cannot wait for it to end.
Trey, that is true. And while there are great questions about this presidential race, there's a greater question about the World Series that I want your expertise advice on.
Oh, boy.
How can it be that John Lester cannot throw the ball to first base or second base on a pickoff?
I don't know, but he did well enough for them to win the other night. But it is bizarre. Sometimes you just have in those games, and we've seen it with second baseman not being able to throw to first, and and many other things. But he certainly threw a gem the other night, and boy, this is getting interesting. There are a lot of Cubs fans, I think, that are have white knuckles right now on this ride.
You got it. Trey, have a good week. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Okay, take care.
You got it. 626 here, Big 550 KTRS, with the anxiety of the presidency, the anxiety of the World Series. Oh, my goodness, there's going to be a crash come next Wednesday. Dr. Karen Boone is an ear, nose, and throat doctor, and she'll solve your sinus problem.